We have Heidi back to take a look at her properties. Heidi, can you walk us through this property?
Yes, so this was my first property that I ever purchased in Tampa. This was sight unseen. So I was going through the MLS and I found that picture and somehow it reached out to my heart and I do not know why. So, but I let my agent know that I was interested in this property and I wanted to put in an offer. And actually there was a second property that I mentioned previously that was also on this. So we put in an offer on both of these. Full price offer we did for these. This is the interior, tile throughout, some interesting wall choice colors. Sad looking kitchen. It's another shot. Actually, this is the other side.
When you were looking at this, what kind of hidden value were you seeing?
So when I was looking at this, the price, I could tell that it was a 2-bedroom. And, you talk about that 1% rule. And I talked to a property manager and I had a price in line for the rent. So I had an idea because I'd already talked to a property manager, what I could expect to charge. And I knew that these guys were only charging $500. And at the time, the going rate in this area was $1,000. So that was at $500 per side, $1,000 a month of unused value. Just that, without even doing a remodel.
And you said the purchase price was what on this one?
I think the mortgage, 165 is what I offered.
Okay.
That was a full price offer was 185. I think I bought this one for 165.
So it was actually above the 1% rule because if both sides were 2,000 divided by the 165 would be more than 1%.
And this was in 2020?
Yes.
2020 or 2021?
2020.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 2020.
2020.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
I think I put the offer in. I think it was 2020. Yeah. So this is another one of the bedrooms.
All right.
And this was renovation time. So these are pictures from my real estate agent. I live in New Hampshire. These are all down in Florida. So I actually didn't see these properties. But this was a picture after they painted the exterior from that heart touching yellow it was.
So just to confirm, because I love that you did this with your very first property. It took us a couple years to get comfortable to do this, and you just went out and did it. So you purchased it sight unseen, you rehabbed it sight unseen, which yes, that's so cool. Awesome. Nice.
That's kitchen after, yeah.
Oh yeah, much better.
Okay, so did you replace the whole cabinets or just the fronts, or what did you do there?
We replaced everything, yeah. The stove was supposed to be white, but and it is now, but they had this property manager was really, really good. So when you go through here, you're seeing that the covers aren't on the electrical outlets. There's still some stuff over there, like I don't think the faucets are in. He had this posted online and rented before the renovation was completed. So these pictures are actually what he posted online for the posting. So
wow.
Nice. How'd you find your property manager?
You guys. So give us a list. So you guys give us a list of ones in the area. And so, you call up, you talk to them, you interview them. And I really like this guy. And he's been great to work with. Well, I've negotiated it on the 4 with him. So.
Okay. Nice LVP flooring, nice paint.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's all the gray and the LPV, and then the bathroom is a complete remodel. Actually, the tile there, we ended up getting that refinished. Is what we did with that, and then new fixtures.
Did you have a washer and dryer?
I did. I decided not to have them installed, but I wanted to make sure that they had that there. So they have to bring in their own washer and dryer. I didn't want the cost of repair. So
Yep, makes sense. All right.
This was one in Orlando, also a very touching color of orange, which somehow reached out to me. And it had a another property about 3 blocks over, in gray stucco. You'll see that one in a minute. And so once again, I put in offers for 2. And once again, it was the same owner on both of those properties. So I was negotiating on both of them with the same guy. It was interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what interested you about this one?
What I liked about this is in the Orlando area, and what I liked about this is these are 3-bedroom, 2-bath duplexes. And so those are even bigger. And once again, he was renting them out for, how much was he renting them out for? I think 1,100 a side. And the going rate, talking to the property manager in this area, was 1,700. So I knew once again that I had an automatic increase, monthly income from that. So, and I think I purchased this one for 285, I think, for that one. And right now it's probably worth around 450.
Wow. Yeah, and that's a real power and benefit of knowing your numbers, right? You knew what these units go for, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You just knew what they were going for. So you immediately could do the 1% rule in your head and know that it was probably going to work out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Wow.
And this is after the renovation. So new kitchen, 2 new bathrooms. Yeah, 3-bedroom.
And you also found a good contractor. Was that through your property manager or through the community?
It was, and to be perfectly honest, that was another learning experience. So I ended up switching property management companies through this. The person that they hired was doing all 4 at the same time, and so one of them got done, and then the other 3 were just sitting there, not happening. And you'd have to reach out to your property manager and blah blah blah. Finally, I just had to say, look, this has been too long. You have all of the cash you need for this, and it's just not happening. You need to hire somebody else. So they did, and they finally got it done. But it took, me being assertive and being on top of it and communicating with them. And I ended up deciding to go with a different property management after that experience. I'm like, look, you guys weren't responsive enough. I kept saying there's a problem. So, but I did end up with a beautiful renovation after all of that. And actually the original guy, the first one they hired, did a nice renovation. It just took forever and nothing else was happening. So.
And did you see this property too, or did you do the same thing? You bought it sight unseen and renovated it?
I have never seen this property. So once again, it's another property. And I went down to Florida because I'm like, oh, I'll be here. I'll see it, and I get down there and I just like, oh yeah, there's a property like 45 minutes that way, and I never go. I don't worry about it, my property manager is taking care of it. They let me know, they reach out. I've got good property managers now. I'm happy with it. So
That's great. And I love how you just didn't tolerate how they handled this renovation and the unresponsiveness, so made a change.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
awesome.
And we've changed property managers a number of times, right? It's just part of the normal part of the journey.
Heidi acted quickly. Sometimes I take a little longer.
I don't know. I look back and I'm like, it probably took me too long. I should not have been as patient as I was. But I was going with the whole, well, COVID and shipping. And so you had to give some leeway, but at some point you had to say, look, guys.
Yeah. All right. Beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice renovation.
Yeah, this is the other one.
Okay.
Yeah, and these have washer dryer hookups and everything too. But I loved how the bathrooms came out.
I like the tile a lot.
Wow.
Nice big tile too. You use big tile, be cheaper. Like
Yeah.
Okay. What about this one?
Well, this is the one that was just, it's the same layout as the one we just saw. I pretty much did the same renovation, but this one's stucco exterior. And like I said, this is like 3 or 4 blocks away. So same neighborhood, same area. Yeah, and the numbers were the same. So, they were renting them out for 1,000 to 1,100 a pop, and I knew that I could get about 1750 for this.
Yeah, and I wanted to mention, this looks very much like the other one. I know it's got a little bit of different patterns and things like that on it, a little bit of different features on the window. I think it's just paint, but the idea is that there are developers that have the same plans and they just find lots and they build the same property. And so if you find a winner, you find a pattern that works, you can just keep buying the same property in the same area wherever the developer built these properties. And so you just kind of keep an eye out. And you also have your agent kind of keep an eye out.
Right. Yeah. There's actually an empty lot next to the other one that I've been tempted. So to just buy the lot and build. So
Nice. Some before
yeah,
pictures.
so that was, yeah, before pictures. And this one, the floor was bad. The subfloor underneath turned out to be bad too. So I don't know if you can see that the tile is like doing this number. So yeah, so we had to get under there, pull up the subfloor and relay the subfloor and then put down the LPV. So yeah.
Yeah. Older kitchen, pretty classic. Older bathroom. All right, very nice.
Yeah. Notice that it's not tilting. Yeah, okay.
But also, can you tell people about, kind of creating this model for how you're going to fix properties up and how it becomes more efficient over time with your contractor?
Right. Yeah, they know exactly what you're looking for. And I really feel like that gives them if you give them those guidelines, they can actually, this sounds crazy, but look for deals for you. So if you've got a good relationship with them, they know that this is what you're looking for. You're looking for an LPV at this, quality level and this color schemes. And I'm not like black and white, it has to be blah, blah, blah. They're going to find deals for you. It's like, oh, this one's on sale and I know this one's coming up and they know that I'm going to just cover it. And so those kind of relationships, it's going to pay off in the long run. They're going to make sure that you're taken care of and that you get a good deal on your materials. When they see you, they'll let you know. So
yeah. Nice.
Cool.
Very nice.
That's the other side. Yeah.
And one thing I noticed about your kitchen, and maybe it wasn't done yet, did you choose to not put knobs on them to reduce maintenance, or is it just they weren't on yet?
I didn't choose to, but they all have the under ones. So it's just a clean look. That refrigerator, I don't know what it is about refrigerators with all the COVID and the shipping thing. It was like I kept ending up with black and they had to keep switching them out. So to the white, but it was just what they had available so we could get it on the market and then they switch them out once.
Yeah, those of us who invested during COVID remember how we couldn't get any appliances for a long time.
Supply chain issues.
Kitchen cabinets, man, the kitchen cabinets were killing you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the bathrooms. Yeah.
Very nice. All right, so tell us about this property.
So I'm a flight doc with the Air National Guard. I'm also a pilot. And so I got an email from the civilian side flight doc here in my town saying that his building got bought out and he'd been practicing there for over 20 years and it was going to get bulldozed and a bank put in. And he says he's been looking around and he wanted to find a new place to lease, but he's 70 and they all wanted a 5-year lease. And is there something I could do to help? Well, I learned from you guys that you just sort of figure it out, right? You just sort of like, well, yeah, let's just see what we can do. But the irony is 2 years ago, 3 years before I took your class, it would have been a hard no. Oh, see, gosh, I'm sorry. I just can't help it. I don't know. Yeah. So it would have just been an email back saying, sorry. At this time, because of you guys and the mindset and the thinking about the what ifs and how can I, and the maybe, I was like, well, let's see what we can put together. And so I started out looking for a place to lease. And then I decided that was a really bad idea. I should just buy a place. So I did. So that was a learning experience as well. This is a small SBA loan, Small Business Administration loan that we went through, and Seacoast Flight Medicine. So this is civilian aviation medicine. So these are for your pilots, your Delta, your United pilots. They have to get an exam every 6 months by the FAA. So that's what we're doing here. So I bought this condo, we renovated it. Once again, I already knew how to do that, right? You guys. And so we renovated it and got it all set up. It was pretty cool. So now I accidentally became an owner of a medical practice. So and all those doctors, because there was 3 of them over there. Now there's 5 of us because I recruited another doc from the National Guard. So now there's 5 of us. We each work 2 days a month there. So that's it. And I have the income from that. Wow. So it's pretty awesome. So this practice, when I got this one open, this opened 5 months ago, it brought me to 100% clinical income replacement. That's where I
Wow.
am now.
Incredible. Heidi, I've got to ask, we've been spending some time with you now hearing this mindset, and I'm sure a lot of people noticed it. So can you talk to us about that? Is this just how you are, how you've always been, or, what is it, how is it you approach all these challenges with such fun and ease? Because that's what we hear from you. Anything you would say to people about how to kind of pick this up from you? Because it's really cool.
God, I learned this from you guys. Okay. So it was like I said, 3-4 years ago, this popped up. Somebody sent me an email say, hey, can you help out? It would have been an email back. No, too much of my, it felt busy. It felt hard. It would have felt, but listening to you, what you guys did and what you talked about and just turning that no into a maybe, that was my first step. It became a maybe. Well, maybe I could do that too. So then, I do your free cash, cash flowing rentals thing. And I'm like, well, maybe I can. And then I'm on to the 0 to free. So it's been a gradual thing for me, if that makes any sense. So I just started out with the word maybe. And it's gone from there. And so it became, I think Kenji, I was like, how can you do this? Still working on that one, Kenji. I have to tell you, I'm still working on getting to the how can I do that? I'm at the maybe and let's see, and what would it look like to put this together, and how can we make this happen? And so it's been a learning, and it's been over the last 3 years. So it's been an incredible journey. I also opened an online financial education business that I've been doing for about a year. And that's, I never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined doing any of this stuff 3 years ago. So, and I blame you guys for.
You're such a powerhouse. I mean, and we can hear your mindset pervasively through all of this. You've gone through challenges, you faced times where you didn't know what to do and you figured it out, and you had that belief of resourcefulness. So I just want people to hear like how much that actually leads to success in these things, because it really is remarkable listening to you. I just want to let you know, as an outsider, like, not having spent hours and hours of my life with you, but you can hear it every step of the way. And it's so cool to witness the joy you're having, the fun you're having with all of this.
Yeah. It is such a powerful tool, and it's such an amazing thing to learn and start using in your life. And knowing this helps me just keep expanding it. It's like, where else can I use this in my life? And it's not just real estate, it's everything. You can apply it to wherever you need it to be. So I don't know. It's an incredible tool to be that mindset piece and thinking about it. And I think one of the things that people get stuck on is, well, failure, the idea of failure. And, instead looking at that instead of as a failure, as it's an opportunity, it's a learn. It's like, okay, I learned that one. It's like that first property when I put in for 2 and I turned it down over $5,000. Well, that was not a smart move. Guess what? I learned something, So, taking those is not as failures, but as something I get to apply in the future. The other piece I think is important for people to really think about is, you try something and it doesn't work. What is the worst thing that can really happen? I mean, are you catastrophizing it? All of a sudden you're homeless on the pavement somewhere with your kids? I mean, or what is really the worst thing? Okay, I went through all of this for this medical practice and it didn't work out. The loan fell through, and oh, well, I tried, but it didn't have, that was the worst case. On this property that I didn't get over $5,000, the worst case there was, okay, I didn't get the property, and that was a sad story. But once again, all that I had in that property was the inspection. So that was just not a lot. So, and it's a live and learn thing. And so I think it's important. I think we get focused on this idea that if it doesn't work out perfectly, that it's a disaster. And you need to answer that question honestly. Is it really? What would that really look like? how bad is that actually? And I think that that's sometimes where we get stuck.
Mm.
My
Yeah.
thought, I don't know, but.
I love it. Thank you for sharing, and thanks for showing us so many of your properties. I think people will see what's possible and see the speed at which people can do this remotely. And so lots of great learning pearls. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. This is awesome.